Ahí tú me dices cuándo.
Chef, ¿cómo está?
Buenos días. Gracias, mi hermano, por darme la oportunidad de conversar contigo y pasar un tiempo aquí compartiendo ideas y esas cosas.
Y yo excited aquí con mi cortadito y vos en la cocina con tu café.
Aquí estamos.
Let's start off with this. Ihosvany, muchas gracias por being on Como. Tell us a little bit about who you are.
So who I am, I'm basically a little kid coming from Cuba with a lot of dreams. To have the opportunity to come to this country to basically, you know, like make the dreams happen. So I was born and raised in Cuba. I lived there almost my whole life, basically, until I was 19 years old. And then when I moved to the States, following the dreams, looking for freedom. And thanks God.
¿Hace cuántos años te moviste a los Estados Unidos?
Hace 8 años exactamente que moví a los Estados Unidos.
¿Y cómo viniste?
So, you know, like a lot of people have different ways to leave the country. So in my case, like how a lot of people know, they call them balseros. So balseros, people who build, you know, like homemade, you know, like boats. Yeah. We cross the Caribbean Sea, the 90 miles, how they call.
Eso es increíble. And before we go into it, I know you're going to cook something while you're interviewing. And
yeah, of course.
Listen, so how long were you thinking about it antes de decir, quiero otra oportunidad, quiero ir a los Estados Unidos? Like, how long were you thinking about it before you started acting on it?
I would say the sooner I start understanding life and start understanding what it was outside of Cuba, you know, like that's when I started, you know, like this is not everything, you know. I know it's more outside, it's more out there. And I think I was like 14, 15. That idea started coming to my mind, and I started figuring out, you know, like how I can make that happen. But I would say 14, 15 when I was in high school.
Okay, y entonces, ¿qué? ¿Fue por los turistas que conociste o fue por parte de internet que vos viste que había más oportunidad? ¿Qué era?
I mean, basically, when I was living there, we have no access to internet at all. But you know, it's more outside. You know, like, you know, it's more. This is not everything when you're living there. So I always want to, you know, like, get to know the unknown.
Sí. Exacto. And let me ask you this. En Cuba, ¿qué hacía?
So I was basically high school. I worked for a little bit. I was basically in high school because I lived when I was 18, 19. So my time was in high school. But in the summers, I used to go to the farm and work in the farm. So that's where all my respect for the ingredients come from, you know, because I understand, you know, like how much work going into to like put something in the table, like behind that.
Exacto. Y ahora you're thinking, I want to go to the United States. ¿Con quién hablaste? You don't have to give names, but did you start getting a group of people to say, hey, let's go? Because tampoco you weren't building boats, you know?
Yeah. So basically, so it was a friend of mine who tried and he got caught. So he got sent back to Cuba. When he got sent back to Cuba, I talked to him. I was like, so what are you trying to do? You're trying to live again? You're trying to try again? And he's like, yeah, of course. I was like, I want to live here. I'm looking for opportunities. I can't really handle this anymore. You know, I have to do it for me and my family.
Y entonces,
and then,
go ahead.
And then me and him start, you know, like finding people who have the same goals, you know, like leave the country.
Y todo en secreto, see, when you're finding other people.
No, everything have to be in secret because that's illegal out there. You know, like it's not like you can just build a boat and go.
Yeah.
You have to, you know, like.
And you didn't even tell your mom.
No, I don't even tell my mom nothing because you cannot take the risk that someone know. And, you know, like you can get in trouble because it's a lot of people who, you know, like can talk to the police or the police can find out. And then, you know, like that's when you get in trouble, like big trouble. They just send you to jail without asking questions.
And how long did it take the process to construir la balsa, get the right people?
So I would say it was like a good 7 months in between. We find the people. We find the materials, we bring the materials to the farm. It was like close to the farm, but it was more like in the jungle. We bring the materials to the jungle and it takes us like 2 weeks to build the whole boat.
Okay. Y ahora, were you getting nervous? I want us to go with your journey, if you don't mind. ¿Te estabas
No,
nervioso ya que venía el día más cerca?
I mean, you, of course, you was nervous about it because I mean, it's a big step. You know what I mean? It's a big step. But the thing is, I was so focused in my goal. That my goal was like leave the country and like help, like my family and the people who were left behind. That I was just so focused on that. I was not scared. I was not nervous. I was just like, I gotta make it. I gotta make it. I gotta make it. I was just focusing. I'm gonna make it. I don't even have time to be nervous.
Yeah.
I was just focused on that.
Y vos tenías un plan. You had a plan that you were gonna get on this boat and end up in the United States. What was the plan that you had once you land?
Well, I have no plan because I have no family.
Mhm.
So I have no family. All my family is back in Cuba. So when I came, the plan was like, so back there, I don't know if they're still doing that. Back there, you go when as soon you came here, you go to the church and they help you with the paperwork, and
Got it.
they also help you to locate you somewhere up north.
¿Cómo se llamaba eso back then?
And they call back then they call it La Iglesia, the church. So
No, I
it
know
was
that
like,
it was called wet foot, dry foot, right? That policy was in place en esos tiempos.
oh yeah. No, yeah, basically, sorry about that. Let me break down that for you. So back then they have a policy or law that it was called dry foot. So that means that if you get to America and your foot are dry, that means that like anywhere you can, it doesn't matter like plane, it doesn't matter in a boat. So the American government give you, political asylum
Mhm.
because the situation, in between, like Cuba and United States. So
Okay.
basically, they help you out. They help you out with the papers. They give you a employer permit so you can start working, and then you became a permanent resident, and then you became a citizen. So they help you out. I'm really blessed for America. I'm always going to be grateful for this
Entonces,
country for
en-
what they do for me.
exacto. Entonces, era el plan, llegar primero y estabilizar eso.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was the plan.
So before you get into that part, how did you feel? What was going through your emotions when you got on that boat and come on? Did you bring clothes? How many were you guys on that boat?
So we were 27, and one little girl. She was 10 years old.
27 must have been a big
Yeah,
boat.
not really. Not really. It was like 7 meters, like 21 foot by
Mm.
6, 21 by 6. We all on top of each other. It was just all on top of each other. Like it's full of people.
¿Y cuánto tiempo was the trip?
So the trip was 24 hours because we landed in one of the key. So it's called dry tour. Dry
Mhm.
tour is one of the keys, like a little bit far from Key West. So it takes us 24 hours, exactly 24 hours.
And how was it on the 24 hours? What did people do on that boat coming to the United States?
It was 27 people. So you see everything right there. You see people crying, you see people, like so nervous, they're not talking. You see people, like trying to, like, you have to take water out, you have to turn turns, putting the water out because always water come to the boat. You have the other one. We have a plan already. We have the one who take care, like we have the one who's driving the boat. We have the one who's putting the diesel in the boat because we have a little motor. So we have one who putting the diesel in the boat, like in between everyone. We put water out all the time, non-stop, and we have people, like two of my friends, they were basically dead. They were not talking. They were dehydrated because when you start going in the sea and you're not used to that, you start getting dizzy and start throwing up and you start getting dehydrated. So it was people you only wake them up to give you water and sugar to make sure they're still.
Y vos me dijiste que I asked you one time what you did on the boat, and you said rezamos, pray to God.
Oh yeah, because basically we over people in the boat. That happens a lot, and that's why like a lot of people pass away or disappear trying to complete that journey. We over people. The sooner we get in the boat, I was sitting down with my friend Sergio, who we build the boat together. We sitting down, and I was able to touch the water. Like sitting down, I was able to touch the water, and we know that was not good because if it was a little bit, the sea get a little bit crazy, we'll be all got nowhere.
Y entonces, gracias a Dios llegaron.
Oh yeah.
What was that moment you hit the keys, the United States?
I mean, when we about to hit the key, it was a night. It was 3 in the morning. So we don't see much. We just see the light in the key, and we just push that boat. It was kind of like a little. I mean, I don't say fight, but a little argument because some people in the boat, because we have a little GPS and the GPS drop, and the batteries come out. So where we're supposed to go, we don't know anymore. So we're fighting. Yeah, we're fighting because like we see the light, and some people want to go to the light, some people want to go for the GPS was saying to go, but the GPS was broken. So we got in a little fight right there, and then I pass out. I pass out because I was 2 weeks working. I was 48 hours without sleep because all the the thinking was stressful, and I pass out. Like I know what was happening. I heard everything back and don't move myself.
Yeah.
So the boat went there, and as soon we hit the key, we jump in they have like a little pier. So we jump in the pier, we bring everyone, and we went to the key. We like, I don't know where is that, because that key is like a vacation stay.
Sí.
Like people stay there, they have electricity and everything. We get there, we like, we don't know what we get because we understand the key was just, like just a little island with nothing.
¿Y qué pasó? You guys ran into the police, a neighbor?
We ran into the water in the park, because it's a national park, not a national park, but it's a park. They have, like the water, and the water asks us, where you guys come from? And we say Cuba. When we say Cuba, that guy said, welcome to the United States. So when he said that, everyone start crying and hugging each other, like we cannot even believe, like we make it, like it was a lot of emotions,
Do you still talk to the people que vinieron en el bote?
Yeah, I told some of them. I talked to them.
That's awesome, man. Okay, entonces, thank you for that journey, and vamos a hacer más entrevistas sobre eso. Now, let's ask, you're in the United States. What was your first thing to file your paperwork y conseguir a trabajar?
Trabajar. Okay. That was my first thing. The first thing in my mind was like, we gotta work. What it is?
Walk through us to what you did, because también tenía que aprender el idioma.
Yeah, I mean that's the hard part. But the sooner I get here, I was like, okay, I gotta find a job. It doesn't matter what it is. So I start working in the street, asking in the car wash, asking in the restaurants. It was really hard because I don't find anything.
Pero era un poquito más fácil porque en la Florida bastante gente habla español.
Yeah, look,
that was good.
That part was easy, but the hard part was like I was really young, and I don't know nobody. So how Florida works, sometimes you have to know someone to recommend you to get that, to get a job, even if it's in a car wash.
Ahora, when you got to the United States and you're looking for a job, how long did you wait before you called your mom and said, "Mami, estoy safe"?
Well, the soon they bring us, because we get to that key. From that key, the Coast Guard come and pick us the next day in the morning, and they take us to Key West. So we stay in Key West, and they come to pick us up and take us to Miami, to the church. So that church where they do all your paperwork. Okay, you're from Cuba. This is your name. Start all your paperwork. So right there, they let you call. So that's when I call my mom. So they give me a phone call. I call my mom.
¿Y cómo recibió la llamada de ella?
I was like, Mom, estoy en los Estados Unidos. Y me dijo, pero tú estás loco, ¿cómo tú estás en los Estados Unidos? ¿Cómo tú te fuiste? Because I was a kid. I was, 18 years old. Like, no one was expecting that. No one, everybody in my town, everyone was like, how? Because I was really young. Like, no one, I never talk about it. I never thought I'm gonna go. I want to live here. I just keep it smart and do my thing and trying to make it happen.
Go ahead. Okay, so beautiful, man. Ella está, te apoya. So tell us about your first job and how you got into cooking.
So when I get here, I always like to cooking. I always watch my mom cooking. Always, she's the best chef ever. She always make amazing meals every day. That's what she do. So I always like to cooking. But when I get here, my first job, it was in a car wash. It
Mm-hmm.
was this car wash was outside spa, Maribel Spa in Miami. So working there, Tia Lucy, someone who became my family, who helped me a lot. She 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 have a guy who have a restaurant. So she was doing his nails one day, and she asked him, if you have a job for me, and he said, yeah, I have a dishwasher job. And she told me, I was like, yeah, I'm going. What is it? Dishwasher? Fine. So that's when I went to the airport. I work in the airport, in a little restaurant called Cuba as a
Ah, okay,
dishwasher.
okay, okay. Cuba con acá.
Yeah, Cuba con K y
Got
con
it.
V.
Hey, vos fuiste dishwasher como Scarface, la película.
Yeah, basically. You
Entonces,
gotta do what you gotta do.
exactly. So you got a job as a dishwasher, but you were seeing the restaurant. You started getting a passion for cooking, correct?
Yeah, so I get a job as a dishwasher and I start. So like it's hard to explain for someone who doesn't cook, but who cook, he gonna understand. He gonna understand when you work in a kitchen. So I start hearing the noises, the language, the energy. I was like, wow, this is fun. This is meaningful.
Mm.
So it was a guy working there. Rodolfo Cervera is one of the most important persons in my life. He starts seeing something in me that no one see before,
Sí.
and he will go help me with the dishes and bring me to the line and show me how to flip burgers, so I can get a 50-cent raise from the dishwasher to the line. I will get a 50-cent raise.
Uh-huh.
And also learning too. He showed me, like everything. He showed me everything. And then I moved to the line. I got a 50-cent raise. I was making 7.50. I get $8 per hour.
Pero vos dijiste que your first check was emotional because
Oh man.
let's talk about that.
So living in Cuba, you don't make that money. You don't make money. It's really hard. And when you have my first check, I think it was like $350, something like that. When I got my first check, and I see my first check, I see my name, I'm $350, something like that. I was like, wow, I can do that. Just working, going to sleep, like calm. I don't have to worry about anything. I don't have to worry. I made this money doing, like something illegal.
Exactly.
It was just like this is safe. I can go sleep, like tranquilo,
Mm-hmm.
and not worry about anything. And I was like, yeah, it was the best moment ever. Like
It was
being, like,
era un,
wow.
era un momento especial, que uno viene a otro país and you do the right thing that you're entitled to, and then you get rewarded hard work. So, hey, felicidades for that. So you're working through at the Cuba restaurant at Miami airport. What was your next step after that? Because obviously you got good at your skill, and then now you said I want to further this chef game. ¿Qué fue el próximo?
So that guy, Rodolfo Cervera is his name. He see, like I can cook. He see, like I was, respectful. I was disciplined, and he told me you should go to school. You should go to school, get an education, culinary education, and you're gonna understand better how kitchen works, and you're gonna learn a lot more. I was like, okay. So that night I went home, I checked schools. So I find this school. The next day I make an interview. I make an appointment for the interview with the school. The next day I went there. I have to go with someone because I was underage.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to have a I don't know how you call it that. Like you have to get someone with you because you're underage.
A chaperone.
So the next day,
Legal guardian, chaperone.
yeah, like legal, yeah, exactly, legal guardian. So next day I went to school. I do the interview. I see the school. When I see the school, like everyone in white uniform with the hats, everything clean, all the equipment, I was like, this is what I want to do. I don't want to hear anything else. This is what I want to do. So I signed for the school, and 2 weeks later, I was in school already.
Wow. Y desde que llegaste a los Estados Unidos de Cuba to getting into culinary school, ¿cuánto tiempo era eso?
6 months.
I want our viewers to know que cuando uno viene a este país is for a better opportunity. And a lot of people go and apply the hard work and dedication. Porque, siempre ponen en la política que la gente viene aquí para aprovecharse, and you're a living testament. You came to this country, aprender el idioma young, not tell your mom, and all of a sudden get accepted in the culinary school. Okay, entonces, how was culinary school?
I mean, culinary school was amazing because like it was so many things I learned there. And I don't know, all the techniques, It was so amazing because that's the base I use still today to cook and develop and develop dishes. Always you keep your techniques with you.
So ahora, Ihosvany, hagamos esto. You say you got skills developed in culinary school. Can you cook us something while I keep on talking to you, interview you?
Yeah, we're doing that. We're doing a little breakfast bowl right here.
Okay.
I'm Cuban. I'm Cuban, so Cuban Yuka is gold for us.
Mm-hmm.
Yuka go in every meal. So lately, I like to use it for breakfast.
Yeah.
So I kind of cook the yuca a little bit and fry it. Seasoning. I have a mojo right here. This is another project working in. It's a mojo inspired from my mom.
There you go.
So I just have a yuca right here. Just gonna fry real quick. Finish with the mojo and fry egg on top. That's my breakfast.
Entonces, mientras estás cocinando, I want you to talk to us. After culinary school, what was the first big kitchen you got to work at?
So after culinary school, I was still working in the Cuban restaurant. One day they have events. My South Beach, the first South Beach Seafood Festival.
Yes.
The first South Beach Seafood Festival. I have not speak any English at all. But anyways, I was like, okay, I have to trying to find a job right here to go there to find a job. So I went there, sign out, go there. They put me to work with this restaurant because all the restaurants have a little tent. They put me to work with this restaurant. I was glad and lucky the chef was from Spain.
Mm-hmm.
When I see the name and I see the chef from Spain, I was like, oh my God, thanks God. Because my English back in that time, it was hello, good morning, and I'm good. That was my English back in that time, nothing else. So I worked with him that day, shut my mouth, listen, do what he asked me to do, and just work. He loved it, and he offered me a job. I was making $8, and he offered me a job for $16 per hour. When he said that, I don't know if I want to hug him, kiss him, or I don't know what I want to do. Because it was like going from 8 to 16. It was amazing. It was this small Italian restaurant in South Beach called Miami Beach called Cafe Avanti. So it's a really old school restaurant. Be open for back in that time 25 years. I mean 30 years now. Yeah. Open for 30 years. And the chef was from Spain, Constantino Cadavid. We make fresh pasta. We do everything fresh right there. It was it's really small, 3 people in the line. That's what I really learned how to cook and how to be organized, how to push myself.
Okay.
In that restaurant.
¿Y cuánto tiempo duraste ahí?
I worked there for a year and a half before. So when I was finished school, so you have to part of the school program is getting an internship.
Yeah.
So I will be able to do the internship there, but one of my recruiters, and not my recruiters, how do you say that? Wait. So in a school, you always have someone who basically, how do you say that?
Counselor?
Yeah, like a counselor, right? Uh-huh. And she told me about Disney World. She's like, oh, they're coming from Disney World to recruit people for the internship. I was like, I don't speak any English. What are we gonna do there? How are we gonna pass the interview? And she's like, oh, I believe in you. And she signed me in.
Yeah.
She signed me in, and the day of the interview came. So the day of the interview, I was so scared because, when you don't speak English, it's nothing you can do about it. You feel insecure. So I chicken out, and I never show up to the interview. I'm like, it's not gonna happen. I don't speak any English. I never show up to the interview. The chef called me, and he's like, I looked to your resume. I looked to your resume. I would like to do the interview with you. Can we reschedule for tomorrow 8 in the morning? And at that point, I was like, okay, it's meant to be, like I have to go. The next day, I show up to the interview. I was like, I don't know English, but in that time, I don't know English, but I'm smart. So in that time, the restaurant I was working for, it come out in a magazine from Miami, the best 50 restaurants in Miami. When he asked me where you work, I pull out the magazine and show this is what I work. And this is what I do. Because my English, I was like, I have to like.
Exactly. So you showed him your resume because you didn't know how to say it. So you showed it to
how
him.
to say it and just show them. And so right after that, he's like, oh, I need a translate because what I'm about to tell you right now is really important. So when he said that, I'm like, okay, I got this thing. So he got the translate. He told me, like this is how to work. We're gonna send you an email, this and that. The next day, I got the email. Oh, you're being accepted for Disney college program. I'm like, okay.
That's
then
awesome.
6 months after, I moved to Orlando to work for Disney World to do the internship. So I went there. I have no English. It was so hard because they do so many trainings and all these trainings. I don't know what the hell was going on.
Sí.
I was lost because my English was nothing. But I'm like, this is what I gotta do. I gotta learn somehow. I'm so navigate my way through the kitchen because I was like, okay, I know speaking and the stuff. I'm not good because I don't understand English yet, but just let me cook. I'm gonna show what I can do.
So your talent, el talento.
Yeah. So I went to the kitchen. I have a guy right there, Ricky Martinez. He bring me with him. He started teaching me. And 2 weeks after I was working there, the chef come to me, Chef Phil, come to me and he say, "You got a job if you want to stay here."
No, I like that. Ahora, you got accepted. How much time did you spend there before you moved on to your next venture?
So there I worked in Citricos for 7 months. And after that, they moved into Victoria and Albert. Victoria and Albert is like the main restaurant in Disney World.
Mm-hmm.
It's like fine dining, like a new American, but you use a lot of techniques.
Sí.
Like a lot of old school techniques. So I worked in Victoria and Albert for about a year and a half.
Okay.
Before I understand. So then that's when my English became better. Mm-hmm. Working with more people from around the world. So after I worked in Victoria and Albert, I was like, okay, what's the next step? I have to move to a big city, either Los Angeles or New York, to get more experience. So then I applied at John George restaurant in New York.
That's badass. That's another delicious restaurant that I go to, man. So that's awesome. So you applied to John George, you got the job. ¿Qué aprendiste at John George's?
So I applied at John George on Saturday. Chef replied to me on Friday. Chef replied to me on Saturday, and he's like, "When you can come to do a starch?" I'm like, "I'm off on Tuesday," and he's like, "Okay." Monday I finished working, went to the house, sharp my knife, drive to my friend driving to the airport, fly to New York, go from the airport New York to John George, work the day. He told me, "Yeah, you got a job." I was like, "Let me go back to Florida, figure out my stuff. I will give you a date when I'm moving here." I went back to Florida the same day, went back to work the next morning, put my 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, I was moving to New York.
Badass. ¿Cuánto tiempo pasaste en Nueva York?
I was in New York for 2 years, 2 years and a little bit.
Okay, and you learned a lot at John George. What did you learn at John George's?
I mean, John George.
Yeah, you're right.
That's John George, like, he's a legend. Like the techniques there, the way they were there, it's just, they teach you. It's a school. John George is a school.
Exacto.
The way they were there, like all the dishes you learn, all the ingredients you work with, everything is like first quality. It was amazing.
So now you were there 2 years in New York. What was your next step?
So basically what I did, a lot of people go to school and trying to become a chef real quick. I was never worried about that. So I take my time. So I was like, I'm going to get all my experience as a cook. I'm going to learn the most as possible. And when the opportunity comes, I would, like be a sous chef. Because, after a cook, you have to be a sous chef. And then being in New York, so because I work for John George, my chef right now, Chef Richard, he worked for John George too. He worked for John George in Vegas. He worked for John George in Beverly Hills, in California. So we kind of contact each other. and he told me, like he have opportunities where I'm working right now in the Line Hotel, Los Angeles.
How many Michelin star did John George in New York have? Or did
So John George, this is the thing about John George. When I get there, they have 3 Michelin stars. And the same year I get there, they lose one. That's when they lose the star.
Sí, está bien. Después te fuiste a Los Ángeles, and it's another Michelin star restaurant.
So I came to Los Angeles and I'm working with Chef Richard. But when I find out Chef Richard, the restaurant is in the hotel, but it's part of Melis company. Mm-hmm. So Melis is a restaurant from Chef Josiah Citrin. So Melis is a 2 Michelin star restaurant.
There you go.
So he have different restaurants in LA.
Yo te pregunto eso because I want our viewers to understand that el tipo de nivel que estás jugando vos. You are learning, building your resume, because there's different ways to go into the cook game. Uno puede entrarse, aprender y abrir su propio lugar. The other way is what you're doing. At your age, you're traveling, you're gaining your experience. You know Cuban food, the techniques you've learned in an Italian restaurant in John George, y ahora Ocean Air, lo aplicas, and you learn so much because in 2 years, what is your goal?
Well, I think this is a hard question to ask because, a lot of things change. I'm being a chef, every day you have a new idea, every day you have a new concept you want to work in. So basically what I'm doing right now, all the concepts I have a concept about the pop-up, I have a concept about the sauce, I have a concept about like TV shows, working on it. I have another concept about the book. So in 2 years, it's going to be a lot of things going to happen in 2 years.
Okay, ahora, I'm glad that you said it's a tough question to answer, but it's a necessary question to have started. Like since you and I met, I'm sure you've been thinking a lot of the opportunities that you have that you didn't have before, because, when you talk to people that are just as ambitious, you're going to start thinking more things, and you're saying, because our first time we talked, you're like, 2 years, I want to build my resume, which you still are. Pero you're now thinking el mojo, el libro, el TV show, maybe a pop-up, resident, porque a pop-up allows you to be yourself and be creative versus the employer, right?
Exactly. So,
siga.
So basically, I'm working in my restaurant. I love the restaurant. But also, you have to understand because you see what happened right now. What happened last year, with all this coronavirus, we understand, restaurants can be shut down, easily. Things can happen, a restaurant can be shut down. So you have to find your way to diversify, like your career and have different types of income.
Exacto. No, I love it.
So that's basically why I'm like, I have a lot of press working out right now. And also, this is a good one. This is a good one. Also, I applied for my favorite chef in Bon Appetit. So I get accepted. So now the 16 start the vote. So if I have to do, I'm working right now. So basically what I'm working right now is the campaign to like people help me, to get votes. So if I can be featured in the Bon Appetit magazine.
Mandame eso. We're going to put it through our platform, bro. Hey, enseñame la paila, donde está la yuca. Show us who you
are. La paila aquí, papi, mira. Estoy friendo la yuca aquí normal. No se ve. You fry the yuca, you're going to see it right now.
Okay, perfecto. Okay, so my next question, let's
go to me.
Let's go into something fun, okay? Segmento se llama hashtag como ¿qué te molesta, right? ¿Qué te molesta la industria?
Laziness.
Yeah.
And I cannot deal with that. Like I don't deal with people who don't give it 100% of themselves. That burn me out. Like if you do it, I know that since I was a kid. If you cleaning shoes, make sure you be the best cleaning shoes ever. Whatever you do, you have to give it 100%.
Got it. Listening, you said. Okay. Ahora, let's do the next question. ¿Qué te molesta de la sociedad? What's a pet peeve in society?
How divided we are. How divided we are.
How divided we are. Yeah. How divided.
We see people for color, for ethnicity, when we all have to see people for who they are, how much they love.
Porque in Cuba, you didn't see that, right? You were telling me before que si uno dice, oye negro, oye chino, aquí te crucifican.
Yeah. So right here, that's the thing. Like right here, they still don't understand that. That's the beautiful thing about Cuba. We are mixing of everything, and we don't care what color you are. We don't care what ethnicity you are. We all Cubans, and we all Cubans. If you call someone, like actually a lot of people, they nickname is Negro or Chino or like Blanco
El
or
gordo, el
Rubio.
gordo, el flaco.
Gordo, flaco.
Yeah.
We not take it. We not really take it, like that way because we see each other as Cubans,
Exacto.
and that's the main goal.
Como humanos.
Como humano,
Yeah.
like that's like I would love, like to this country, like more people understand, like we all humans. It doesn't matter where you come from. We all have heart.
Less division. I love it. Less division. Okay. La próxima pregunta. Una persona muerta o viva, a dead or alive person, who would you like to have dinner with?
Sorry, what?
A person dead or alive, who would you like to have dinner with?
Anthony Bourdain.
Ooh, OG, OG.
Oh yeah, like he did so much for food. He understand food like no one understand it before. He went. He was eating in a fancy restaurant and he was eating in the street, and he showcased, like the food like we all know right now as a street food. He was the first one who going everywhere, finding the most amazing little places, like so you go to eat around the world.
Exacto. No, I love it. I love it. Ihosvany, la próxima pregunta es the last meal on earth. What would it be? Your favorite meal?
Arroz, huevo frito y un plátano al lado, un pedacito de aguacate.
There you go. That's it. So, I love it, man. So show us what you're cooking. Talk to us a little bit about your mojo. Let's close out this interview with sauce, your mojo, what you're doing, and
So mojo is a Cuban classic. So it's basically when you mix any allium. It can be, like garlic, onions. You have your allium, you have your acid. So most of the Cuban mojo, we have the allium from the garlic and the acid from citrus, like orange. So in this case, in this mojo, I use red onions, garlic, of course, a little bit cumin, oregano. You never can miss that in Cuban cuisine. A little bit cumin, oregano, and I use 3 parts orange, lime, and lemon juice.
see. And the inspiration was who?
The inspiration is my mom.
Exactly.
That's why it's called Mata Cuban Mojo.
Perfect.
My inspiration is my mom. She was the one, like, so basically now I'm understanding, like what she did because I'm learning right now Cuban cuisine. I'm putting, like the techniques I'm learning. I'm making my own version of my Cuban cuisine.
Exactly.
So now I look back and I see my mom cooking, and I got, I understand better what she did without knowing why her food come out like really well. Like simple stuff like putting a little bit oil in the rice.
Sí.
So the rice not stick together. Like things like that, you keep it with you because it's so important when you cook, like simple stuff like rice.
So no, I love it. And so you're gonna launch that out, you're gonna put it out there. I can't wait to try it. And you put that on top of your yuca, on top of anything, right? What do you put that on top of?
That's the thing with mojo. It's so easy. It goes with anything. You can use it as a dipping sauce. You can put it on top of your yuca. You can put it on top of your salad. You can marinate your meat with that.
Mm-hmm.
You can do it, but it's not stuff for that.
I can't wait to try it. It's got a beautiful color, so you have a natural plating for the garnish. So
yeah.
You're gonna plate it right now.
Yeah, about to play right now.
Okay. Ahora, mientras estás plating the yuca con mojo, you're gonna fry the egg. You're gonna fry the egg.
Yeah, of course. You have to fry your egg in the morning. You need your egg.
So let me ask you, how long did you wait before you went back to Cuba?
How long?
How long did you wait before you went back to Cuba?
Oh, I waited 5 years before I went back. I only went back once. I went back once 5 years ago.
¿Cómo te sentiste?
I mean, it was a mixed emotions because I was out of there for 5 years. Basically, that's a long time. That's a long time without seeing my family, without seeing my mom, without anything.
Porque hay que esperar cierto tiempo antes que uno pueda regresar, correct?
Yeah, because the way I left the country, that's what they call it illegal. So you have to wait. You have to wait some time for that.
Got it. And it was mixed emotions for you, but how were your friends, your neighbors? How was your family?
I mean, everyone was. I mean, it's Cuba. The thing with Cuba, like the thing with Cuba is everyone's doing the same things. You know, everyone is trying to survive. Everyone's trying to like make the day by day. That's all they're doing. That's all we're doing in Cuba. And seeing them make you sad because you seeing right here, you seeing all the opportunities that you have right here. So going back there is heartbreaking.
Sí.
You see the necessities they have, the things they don't have, like simple stuff, you know, like toilet paper, you know, like food. It's hard. It's really hard. It's heartbreaking.
Ahora la pregunta, Giovanni, do you want the United States to reopen the relationship or continue with the ban?
Of course, I want the reopen relationship. What people don't understand, doing what they're doing for 60 years, the American government, they're not helping because all these people all these high level people in Cuba, they have everything. They eating well. They have cars. They have everything. The only people who suffer is the people. You know, la gente de todo el día, que son la gente que tienen que pagar para buscar comida, que tienen que pagar $15 por like toothpaste, like stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't help him.
Exacto. So you're up for opening up because eso ayuda a la gente.
I mean, 100%.
Exacto. Okay, good, bro. No, eso me gusta.
I just want my people who have more opportunities. I just want my people who have something to eat in the table. That's all I want.
Sí. Y hay críticas de los cubanos aquí que they have different inputs, but coming from you being young y de Cuba,
the thing with
you know.
So this is the thing. The thing with Cubans, you know, like with the Cuban who support, you know, like keep closing, you know, like most of them is the one who came long time ago and they don't understand what's happening in Cuba and they don't live that. But I live that. I know the necessities. I know what people going through. So I cannot support they keep doing that when not giving any result for 60 years.
Exactly.
If you understand, Cuba, we don't have oil, we don't have gold, we don't have diamonds. So the government right here, they don't really care because they're not gonna go there and keep them out because it's nothing, you know, like to get in between.
There's no incentive for someone over there to go get something.
Exactly. You know, that's what it is.
Pero la gente piensa que lo más presión que ponga, the more pressure they put, que van a cambiar el gobierno. The government's not going to change.
No. Listen, I send money to my mom right now, right? My mom go, take the money and spend it in the store, right? Who owns that store? The government. Yeah. So you have I don't know how many million people, how many million Cubans outside? I think it's 1 million Cubans. So if a million Cuba, they send $20 every month to Cuba. Exactly. The government is making $20 million.
Exacto. Okay, no, I'm with you. I love this dialogue. I think that tienen diferentes opiniones, and I like to talk to different opinions.
I mean, I'm all about my people. You know, like if anything can help my people and they have food in the table, I support whoever I need to support.
Y eso, y por forma el turismo and opening it up, it helps them support themselves, correct?
Of course, because when the tourists go, you know, like spend money, the Cubans understand what's going on. You know, like a lot of people criticize, you know, like opening the relationships, but what they don't understand is the plan was give you the tools to Cubans to then fight for democracy because we don't have the support of the Congress.
Y yo creo que esta administración va a open it back up.
So if you see it back, Obama, what Obama did, a lot of people criticize Obama, a lot of people criticize that, but what they did, he's like, I cannot find and kick them out by myself because my government is not supporting me because it's nothing here so we can get. So the first thing he did, he gave it internet to the Cuban people. Mm-hmm. That's the most powerful thing because Cubans right now, they organize. Mm-hmm. So they start fighting for human rights. They start putting out things happening there.
Okay, I like that. Pero ahora con Biden, yo creo que van a, pues vayan.
I mean, that's all I'm praying for. That's all I'm praying for. To have, give them the opportunity to like be heard.
Yeah. How much longer on that egg, bro? How's it looking?
I'm ready, bro. I'm ready right now. You got me talking about things. You got me talking about politics, and I love my country, and that hurt me. I got.
Hey, pero te estoy diciendo, estas entrevistas son cabrón, right? When you're cooking, hablando política, hablando de negocio, hablando de cultura. That's what Como's about. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly. So this right here is the yuca. It's fried already. I have a little escabeche spice right here. Got a seasoning.
Do me a favor. When you're done plating it, Giovanni, get the camera and show it because it's not zooming in. I can't wait to see. I wish I could smell it, and I can't.
So this is the yuca right here. You see?
Oh my god.
So I'm just putting a little bit right here. It's simple stuff like this for breakfast.
Giovanni, ¿cómo dijiste? Oye, tú me tienes hablando de la política.
Oh, bro, you got me. It hurts, man, because I'm Cuban. I never want to leave the country, but I have to leave it because I have no choice.
Sí, no.
You know what I mean? I'm Cuban in my heart.
No, I love that you're passionate about it. I love that you're passionate.
It hurts when people, in Miami, supporting, that stuff, thinking, because the thing is like they get scared. The Cubans, they hear about communists, and they get scared real quick. And this is not like that. You have to understand what's going on, what can help.
You know what? Porque vos viviste el true comunismo. And communism survives con un dictator. Aquí no hay un dictator. Entonces nosotros no somos, aquí en los Estados Unidos nunca va a ser comunista.
Nunca. But that's what they're using. They're letting them know, we're going to be communists. And they're like, okay, we're voting for the another one. But it's never going to happen in this country.
Pero gracias. Pero estamos bien que ganó Biden.
Oh yeah, man, I'm 100%. I 100% agree with that.
Did you vote this past election?
No, I'm not able to vote yet. I'm not citizen yet, but I will. If it was the case, I would vote for him.
Exacto, y eso me gusta enseñar a la gente que las ganas de los latinos en este país, that they're going to contribute to society. You know what I'm saying? I love that. What are you doing right now?
You have to, you know what I mean? You have to see, people don't understand, they've been doing this for a long time, for 60 years, and nothing happened. So that means we have to take a different approach.
Exacto, mi bro. Exacto. Listen, I know that you and I are going to become better friends. We're going to collaborate in the future. Te respeto bastante. Your hustle is inspiring to a lot of people when they watch it. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's where we came from. We came here to figure out how, the most people coming. One day they asked me, what is your goal in life? I'm like, if I can inspire one kid from Cuba, that's all I need. Period. That's all I need. Someone, to be like, okay, we can dream. We can do something. We can, we can be something.
You can make that dream come true. Eso es
Yeah.
la
That's all I needed. That's all I really needed. But yeah, we have. I will give you soon when I have everything set up. I will give you the interview. Not the interview. I will give you the info about the voting to be the favorite chef.
Oh yeah. Información how to get your mojo once you're ready to doing that.
And showcase. This is simple stuff. Like eggs and yuca. I don't know if you see it. Let me know if you see it here.
No, I just see your feet.
Oh, you see my feet?
Oh, los pies.
Oh, the camera's right here.
There you go. Mira qué belleza. I love it. The colores, the texture of the fried yuca con the runny yolk, bro. You garnish it with some greens.
Yeah, that's all. That's all you need. Simple stuff. Breakfast, so you can go to work after that. Fine.
Mi brother, ¿te gustó la entrevista?
Man, that's cabrón.
Por eso.
We have to do this. We have to do this more often. Cooking, but you have to cook too.
See. Bueno, I'm going to learn how you get the camera, and I'm going to cook along with you. And when I go to LA, we'll get a film crew, and we'll film both of us talking. I cook an app, you cook a main. Y hablamos de la industria, hablamos de la cultura, hablamos de todo. And I want everyone to keep updated with you. So thank you, bro, por la entrevista. Pero más grande, la agradecido por tu amistad, bro.
No, man, gracias a ti por traerme aquí, por let me use your platform to like showcase my work and showcase what we're doing right now and support. Thank you so much for supporting all the Spanish Black community chefs, who doesn't have the same opportunities in this country. And thank you for bringing everyone together through the most beautiful thing, food.
Gracias, mi brother. Gracias, un abrazo. Hablamos pronto. Enjoy that food, bro.
Gracias, mi hermano. Cuídate. Dale.